Alright guys, what's going on? Finally getting around to doing a full review of the 230. I actually wanted to do it after I'd had it for a while, so I could really kind of get a full, my thoughts on it and all that. My personal stuff, I've had it about up to here in water before. Thing did fine, trucked right through it, gotten it stuck in the mud, got me out. It's generally held together very well. I've had it for about a year now, but it's in '06, so she was pretty old when I first got her. I don't know the top speed. I would say around 70-ish, maybe. I don't know. Feel free to correct me on that. Stuff that I've actually added to it. I've rejetted it. That's about it. Put a new air filter on it. All the other stuff is just kind of the bar pad, the little donuts that make your hands feel amazing while you ride. And then, is it over here? Nope. Well, yeah, you got the other donut over here. Oh yeah, no. Just the stickers, but which that doesn't really do anything for you at all. It says it's a 229 cc displacement, so yeah, 230. Who cares about that? It only has the electric start. It does not have a kickstart, which kind of sucks at certain times. I haven't had that problem yet. It's got a drum brake in the back, a disc in the front. It's a single cylinder, 6-speed manual transmission, obviously. I'm not sure how tall it is, but I know that I'm 6'3", and I'm a little big for it, so maybe if you're in like the higher 5s, this will probably fit you very well. Actually, wait here, let me just take all this stuff off real quickly. I already took all the bolts out, because I've been cleaning it today. So actually, here you can actually look at it from a better view here as I take it apart. There's your seat, there's your number plate and side plate, number and side right there. So you got your air intake right here, which comes down through your air filter, an overrated sponge, through this pipe, through the carburetor, obviously. Well, through the carburetor, I had it pointed at the wrong spot. Which actually right here, you have your choke. You have your gas, which right now it's at the off. If you turn it up, it's at reserve. And if you point it down, it is just generally regularly turned on. So yeah, all that air just moves through here, through the engine, and then from the engine it comes out of the header, out the exhaust pipe, which I've actually messed with a little bit. I don't know if you can see. If you haven't seen a 230's pipe, this might look normal. There's normally 2 circular things in there, which I will grab really quick. It's called the baffle. Actually makes it sound a lot nicer to take out. So this is your baffle right here. It's just a little metal piece that goes inside here. So normally, from afar, it wouldn't look that effed up, but yeah, they're generally, if it was more centered, yeah, it's kind of messed up. That's generally what it would look like. But yeah, so we got that out. So it sounds a lot better now. Camera doesn't pick up on the sound really well. You'd have to really like not own the bike, but be near the bike with the stock baffle in, and then take the baffle out and then hear it to really hear the difference. But it does make a good difference. I have rejetted it. I don't know if I said that already. I put the new air filter in, blah blah blah. You got your battery, blah. But yeah, generally I think that this is a perfect starter for someone. Now granted, once you do kind of top it out, which maybe be around 70, it does get a little meh after that, because you're like, I've already done top speed, it's not that much, what's next, blah blah blah. It doesn't do bad on a track. It holds its own. It can ride on the track. Even though my tires are not the best, they're not terrible, as you can see, but they're not the best. The front tire is better than the back, obviously. But it does actually pretty well on a track. I've won about 3 times to a track before, and it does pretty well. Granted, I'm not the best track rider. I've not had much experience. I've won 3 times. Yeah. I think that this bike is perfect for a starter, not just the '06 model, any 230. Suggestions I would make, obviously, would be if you're not in the mood to buy an aftermarket exhaust system, at least rejet it and take off the baffle. The rejet gives you not as much a bigger top speed, but more poppiness from the throttle, more response, a faster throttle response. It's kind of like, keep kicking the freaking seat. It's a little soft when you with this with just a regular jets in there. Once you rejet it, it is a little bit more snappy with the throttle. But yeah, so that's what I would recommend. Now, obviously, if you have money, FMF, Pro Circuit, whatever pipe that there is out there, would probably be a good idea just to kind of get it opened up. But you're probably going to want to rejet it if you're going to get an aftermarket pipe. That's just me. But yeah, I might also recommend aftermarket handlebars if you're a taller person. It gets a little uncomfortable sometimes holding the throttle and all that, just because of the position you're in. And I would love to see a kickstart on there. That would be fantastic. But other than that, this is a solid bike. I would totally recommend it to anyone that is starting, because it's not, I guess it technically is fast enough to kill you, but it's not that bad. It's a pretty decent starter bike for beginners, obviously, since calling it a starter bike. The seat's slightly uncomfortable, but not really. That's just, if it's new, it's probably not going to be as comfortable. You're going to have to break that in. But that doesn't really matter, because if you're doing most stuff, you might be standing up most of the time. But yeah, so that's about it. Solid bike. I love this thing. I'm not going to turn it on right now, just because it's got all the side panels off. If you want to hear the 230 without the baffle and with the baffle, you can actually go and look at some of my first videos that I have. The first one that has with the stock pipe might just be my 2006 TTR 230 review. I think that's what it's called. I turn it on, and then my last one with my most previous video with the baffle out, you can hear the difference. Maybe, I don't know if you can hear the difference too well on camera, but yeah. So solid bike, love this thing, but slightly can't wait to get a new one. Looking at a YZ250F, but yeah, that doesn't matter. So I will see you guys later. Hopefully, I'm trying to get a Drift HD 1080p, not the Ghost, but the one below it, something like that, to get some videos out. But yeah, I will see you guys later.